All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going back to a nice, interesting topic. I think Beeb will be interested in this. Since we are talking boxing, I think I want to hear how you guys do this. Let me see how many of you guys have a good sense of boxing. Let me see how many of you guys have a good sense of boxing. So, a lot of people like to say, and I think Beeb would be one, and so I welcome Beeb into this discussion. Since you're a Sugar Ray Leonard fan, and I am a Floyd Mayweather Jr. fan, I'm not that big a fan of Floyd Mayweather Jr. I just like to tell the truth, really, to be honest. But this is a nice, exciting little discussion. Ray Leonard versus Floyd Mayweather Jr., right? Now, we went through it extensively, but I want to show you guys something. So all those, let me see how many of you guys got a good sense of boxing, right? How many of you realize that Floyd Mayweather Jr.'s resume, when you compare it to Ray Leonard's resume, there's something about Floyd Mayweather Jr.'s resume that's just superior to Ray Leonard's resume. How many of you realize that? Okay, I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. That's why I have it in BoxRec, because there's the resume. So when you look at Ray Leonard's resume, beginning in 1977, right? Okay, we don't count these guys, because these guys, he just learning on the job, right? So, yeah, he fought a guy that definitely is a loser, right? Then he fought somebody who was a winner, right? Willie Rodriguez. And again, he fought somebody who was a winner, and he started to fight tougher and tougher fights, right? But we still got to ignore all of this, because he's just working his way up, right? He's just working his way up. He's gold medalist. He's working his way up. All right? He fought Al Heyman's brother, by the way, Bobby Heyman, okay? All right. Now, where we start to really rate Ray Leonard, we start to rate Ray Leonard when we start to see him face some real competition. Okay? And that starts at Floyd Mayweather here. All down here, he's doing okay. Then he starts to fight a fighter who's Floyd Mayweather, whose only loss was because he was doing a rope-a-dope thing. Now, why that's important is because from here on in, he's really facing serious competition. See? Serious competition. This guy, Rafael Rodriguez, wasn't so bad either, really, to be honest with you. But then you had Dick Eklund, who was not really serious. So you start with Floyd Mayweather. Randy Shields was the next one. That was a known name in the business. Floyd Mayweather was an up-and-coming, promising fighter. Randy Shields, okay? And then you had Bernardo Prada, Armando Munez. Armando Munez was one of two brothers. All right, it was a good fight. Johnny Grant, not so great, but it is what it is. Fernand Marcotte, Daniel Aldo Gonzalez, Aldulfo Villaret was of the Villaret brothers. All right, and then you had, and he's a southpaw, Marcos Geraldo. All of these are good fights. Okay, so if we start from Mayweather Sr., which is this dude here, all right, basically you take out these fights 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay, so 14 fights. Now, Sugar Ray Leonard basically had, as you can see in his career, he had what looks to be like 40 fights. That's all he had, 40 fights. His entire career, 40 fights. That's right. Okay? So you take away 14 from those 40 fights, you're left with 26 fights. 26 fights are really worth the while talking about with Sugar Ray Leonard. And we can continue from Mayweather Sr., work all the way up to when he gets to the NABF title, which is against Pete Ramsey. He defends it, and then he gets a shot at the world title against Wilfredo Benitez. All right? Who's undefeated. So, 26 fights is what we're looking at with Sugar Ray Leonard. That really count here. Now, when you look at the competition, I would say that his competition became championship competition from Wilfredo Benitez, because I don't think he fought any former world champions here. So his first world champion he ever faced was Wilfredo Benitez, which is a hell of a champion, but nonetheless, that's the dude, okay? But Wilfredo Benitez, as much as we hype him up, and duly so, but Wilfredo Benitez actually wasn't world champion for very long. He won the title from Carlos Palomino back in 79. That same year, defended it once successfully, and then after that, he defended against Ray Leonard. So he wasn't a long reigning champion or anything. Nonetheless, Ray Leonard beat him. And from there on in, he faced, again, credible opposition. Dave Boy Green. We don't really count Dave Boy Green because he wasn't a world champion or anything. It was just a defense. And then you had Roberto Duran. Now, the thing about Roberto Duran was he was a much smaller guy that came up from lightweight to face Sugar Ray Leonard. And in his second defense, just like with Wilfredo Benitez, he lost to Roberto Duran. He went on to rematch Roberto Duran and beat him, but that's that. Okay, so then he moved on to face and defend his title against a guy called Larry Bonds. Larry Bonds ended up dropping him, actually, in that fight. Nonetheless, after that, he was done with welterweight, and he moved up to super welterweight, and he won a title against Ayub Kalule, who was a slow, plodding, very strong, powerful fighter. Okay, he beat him, went back down to unify with Thomas Hearns, and beat Thomas Hearns. He then went on to face Bruce Finch, and he defeated him. Then he went on to face Kevin Howard, who dropped him. It's Kevin Howard who dropped him, actually. Kevin Howard dropped him. Okay, and that was the last time he fought at welterweight. All right. He retired from boxing, came back, fought Marvin Hagler, beat him in the middleweight fight, which was close. It was a split decision win. You can argue that Hagler won that fight. Then he went on to face at super middleweight. This is the highest weight class he ever went to. At super middleweight, he faced Donnie Lalonde. So he didn't face him at light heavy, even though the light heavyweight title was on the line. And Lalonde was so drained that by the later rounds, he was able to stop Lalonde, even though Lalonde dropped him twice. Dropped him once. And went on to face Thomas Hearns, where he admittedly admits Thomas Hearns won that fight, who knocked him down twice. Okay, at the higher weight classes, he was not really a strong guy. Okay, and then he faced Roberto Duran again, and then he faced Terry Norris, which he lost to. Terry Norris beat him up at super welterweight, beat him up, and Hector Camacho finished him off. This is his career. That is Sugar Ray Leonard's career. Now, let me show you how deep his resume actually is. Okay, so when we're talking about world champions, or anyone who was a world champion, he basically faced one, which is Wilfredo Benitez, Roberto Duran, who's a former world champion, 2, Ayub Kalule, which is 3, Thomas Hearns, which is 4, Marvin Hagler, which is 5, Donnie Lalonde, which is 6, and Terry Norris, which is 7. So he fought 7 world champions. I guess Hector Camacho was a lightweight world champion as well, 8. He lost to 2 of them. Or was it 3? 3 of them. Okay, so 8 world champions he faced in his short career. All right. When you look at it, everybody's rating up Sugar Ray Leonard as this great fighter, blah 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 blah. But really, what he's really known for is beating Roberto Duran, Thomas Hearns, and Marvin Hagler. That's what he's really known for. But when you look at Wilfredo Benitez, but when you really look at it, his career is not that sterling as people hype him up to be. Okay, that's his resume. He had 8 world champions he beat, and 8 world champions he faced. 6 world champions he beat, and basically lost to the other 2 world champions or former world champions. My point being, Sugar Ray Leonard's career, everybody hypes up Sugar Ray Leonard as the greatest, just greater fighter than Floyd and all of that. He ain't fought much people. You get what I'm saying? His reputation is based on the other 3 guys who were well known at the time: Roberto Duran, Marvin Hagler, and Thomas Hearns. That's where his reputation is built on. But he ain't really fought a lot of different people, especially at the elite level, and beat them. Now, let's look at Floyd Mayweather's resume. We're not going to include Conor McGregor. Oh, hell no. So after 26 fights, he fought 8 people that were noteworthy world champions. Now, when we talk about Floyd Mayweather, on the other hand, that's a totally different story. Alright, so we don't include these early fights. Absolutely not. Floyd really started fighting a credible fight somewhere in his... somewhere against Gustavo Fabian Coelho. So Gustavo Fabian Coelho was his first real serious fight. Okay, and the reason why I say that is because this guy was a defensive-minded guy, and Floyd was only trying to knock him out, and he couldn't. Then he faced Tony Pep, who was a world challenger for a world title, and he fought Gennaro Hernandez. Now, if you want to, you could start with Gennaro Hernandez as his serious competition, or you could start at Gustavo Fabian Coelho, but nobody before that. Okay? Which means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 of his fights you have to disregard. So if you're starting with Fabian Coelho, it's 15 fights. If you're starting Gennaro Hernandez, it's 17 fights you have to disregard. But I wouldn't disregard Tony Pep, because Tony Pep twice became a top contender. So I would not disregard him. Alright? Let's say a level even 16 fights. Now he's had 50 fights, which means 34 of those fights are credible fights. Now let's look at how many, so he did more fights than Ray Leonard. But here's the thing that really gets us. He fought Gennaro Hernandez. Now if you look at Gennaro Hernandez, he was a long-reigning, undefeated super featherweight champion. Just have a look at it. Long-reigning, undefeated super featherweight champion. So his first shot at a title was against a long-reigning, undefeated super featherweight champion. Okay? Ray Leonard was not. That was not the case with Ray Leonard. Gennaro Hernandez, a veteran at that, and Floyd was able to stop him. He then went on to face Angel Manfredi, who will ignore, and Carlos Rios, and Justin Juku. All of these guys I would not consider at all. However, Carlos Joreno was a former world champion, and it wasn't expected that Floyd would run through him like he did, nor Goyo Vargas, but he did that. And those were two former world actually, Goyo Vargas was the former world champion, not Carlos Joreno. Sorry, my bad. Goyo Vargas, okay? And he ran through Goyo Vargas pretty effectively. We skip Emmanuel Augustus, and then he faced Diego Corrales. We all know how that fight went. Corrales was weight drained, though. And then he faced Carlos Hernandez, who would later become world champion, Jesus Chavez, who would later become world champion twice. And then he went up in weight to lightweight and faced Jose Luis Castillo, who was a beast. He had to fight him a second time to clarify. He then went on to face DeMarcus Corley at super lightweight, who was a former world champion. After beating him, he would go on to face Arturo Gatti, legendary fighter, Hall of Famer, etc. Then he would go on to face Zab Judah, Carlos Baldomir, Oscar De La Hoya, Ricky Hatton, Juan Manuel Marquez, Shane Mosley, Victor Ortiz, Miguel Cotto, Saul Canelo Alvarez, and Robert Guerrero when he was sort of a beast, Marcos Maidana, Manny Pacquiao, and Andre Berto. Now, just talking about world champions here. Just talking about world champions. Let's just talk about the WBC and WBA world champions. Berto's a WBC, WBA world champion. Manny Pacquiao was a WBO and WBC world champion. Marcos Maidana was a WBA world champion. Saul Canelo Alvarez was WBC, WBA. Robert Guerrero was a WBA world champion. Miguel Cotto was a WBO and WBC world champion. Victor Ortiz was a WBC world champion. Shane Mosley was a WBA world champion. Juan Manuel Marquez was a WBA world champion. Ricky Hatton was a WBA world champion. Oscar De La Hoya was a WBA world champion. Carlos Manuel Baldomir was a WBC. Zab Judah was WBC, WBA, IBF. Shambe Mitchell, forget him. He was a former world champion too, but I'm leaving him out. Arturo Gatti was a WBC world champion. DeMarcus Collier, WBC. Jose Luis Castillo was WBC world champion. Jesus Chavez was a IBF world champion. Sorry. Carlos Hernandez was a WBA world champion. I can't remember. Diego Corrales, IBF world champion. IBF world champion. Goyo Vargas was WBA, and Gennaro Hernandez was a WBC. That's just on the surface counting world champions. We're talking about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Okay? And they're just talking IBF, WBA, WBC. We're not talking WBO. 21 world champions. Now, just based on that, and Floyd having a 50-fight career, okay, where we said that about 34, 33 of the fights were legit. That's more fights than Sugar Ray Leonard had. And more importantly, Floyd had legendary names like Oscar De La Hoya. He had legendary names like Manny Pacquiao. He had legendary names like Juan Manuel Marquez. He had legendary names like Shane Mosley. He had legendary names like Miguel Cotto. He had legendary names like these all are guys going in the Hall of Fame. Saul Canelo Alvarez. Okay, that's 7 legendary names. Okay, he not just fighting guys in his weight class, but above his weight class. Okay, these are legendary names. Ricky Hatton, who's definitely going in the Hall of Fame at some point. Okay, Zab Judah. Okay, you got those kinds of names on your resume. That's incredible. Jose Luis Castillo, I almost forgot him. He's going in the Hall of Fame for sure. Gennaro Hernandez is already in the Hall of Fame, World Boxing Hall of Fame. He's going to probably go into the International Hall of Fame as well. So you're talking about 9, 10 guys who are Hall of Famers. That's the kind of craziness that Floyd Mayweather did compared to Sugar Ray Leonard. So when people talk about Sugar Ray Leonard, as a greater fighter than Floyd, don't say that stupidness, man. Yeah, he was in the time of the Three Kings, but he basically made his reputation off of 4 people. Roberto Duran, Thomas Hearns, Marvin Hagler, and Wilfredo Benitez. That's what he makes his name off of. 4 guys. Floyd makes his name off of many guys. Some of them way out of his weight class. You know what I mean? And the best in the weight class. Donnie Lalonde wasn't the best light heavyweight. Floyd fought the best super welterweight twice. In Miguel Cotto and then in Canelo Alvarez. He fought multiple times the best in his division of welterweight. And the best in his division of lightweight. He fought the best lightweight, the best welterweight, the best super welterweight, the best super featherweight twice. Okay. I mean, out of the 5 divisions he was in, he fought the best in 4. Okay. How do you beat that? How do you beat that? Okay. Ray Leonard, he fought the best welterweight. Right? He fought the best welterweight in Tommy Hearns. He fought the best middleweight in Marvin Hagler. And he fought the best. That's it. That's it. That's it. That's it. Yeah. He fought the best. Dang. So terrible. He fought the best welterweight. And he fought the best middleweight. That's it. But yet you guys always give this guy props for things. I mean, I'm just saying. I want Beeb Renee to respond. You guys are Sugar Ray Leonard fans. You're going to talk about how excited he was and all of that. I don't care about that. I mean, Floyd is so much better than him when it comes to boxing. But Sugar Ray Leonard brought excitement to the ring. Showmanship. He do the chicken scratch, or he would, rub his hair, or, he'd do all those little antics. But at the end of the day, while he was very entertaining, he ain't really fight the kind of guys Floyd fought. Okay, when had Leonard ever fought somebody bigger than him? Only Marvin Hagler, only Donnie Lalonde. And you could argue Hearns at super middleweight, and he was catching his skin at super middleweight. He was getting beat down, knocked down all the time. All right. But other than that, Sugar Ray Leonard was always was one of the bigger guys. Floyd consistently fought guys that outweighed him in the ring. You see what I'm saying? And so when I hear people say, well, Leonard would have been a bigger guy, I'm like, duh. That's like status quo with Floyd Mayweather. When has Floyd Mayweather fought somebody that was smaller than him or lighter than him? Yeah, somebody shorter than him? Yes, he's fought people shorter than him. But lighter than him? Very rarely. I think one of them was Juan Manuel Marquez. So when you put that into perspective, that Floyd has not been fighting guys smaller than him. He's made a reputation. He's made his career of fighting guys bigger, taller, and even sometimes more powerful, but definitely more powerful punchers than him, and sometimes even stronger than him. And Floyd be fighting them dudes religiously. How do you think that Sugar Ray Leonard is going to be any different? You know, then some people will say, well, he fought slow, plodding fight. Manny Pacquiao ain't a slow, plodding fighter. Zab Judah is not a slow, plodding fighter. Victor Ortiz is not a slow, plodding fighter, man. Okay? So I don't want to hear that. Okay? Diego Corrales, okay, he was, you know, more of a plodding fighter. I'll give you that. But, you know, slow plodding fighters, you can't say that for General Hernandez. Of course, a lot of people say he was old. Oscar De La Hoya ain't no slow plodding fighter. Okay? So, at the end of the day, he Mosley wasn't no slow plodding fighter, and he's bigger than Floyd. He comes in 165 on Fight Night. Okay? So, how could these guys... Canelo ain't no slow plodding fighter. You know what I mean? So, when you look at these things, and you look at the resume, and you look at the names, man, you can't be playing them kind of games, man. You can't be playing them kind of games. So Sugar Ray Leonard fans out there, fanboys of Sugar Ray Leonard, I ask you, what makes Sugar Ray Leonard better than Floyd Mayweather in terms of his resume and the people he fought? You're gonna say, oh, he fought legendary fighters like Sugar Ray, like Thomas Hearns. No chin Thomas Hearns, who get punch drunk when you touch him on the chin. That Thomas Hearns. I'm just saying, you know, if you put it in context, Thomas Hearns was the Amir Khan of the welterweight division. He quick, he's sharp, he can hit you and stop you and all of that and drop you. But you touch him, and it could be curtains for him really quickly. You know what I mean? Y'all don't think, man. You can't include Marvin Hagler at welterweight, but you definitely can include Roberto Duran. Guess what? Floyd fought a Roberto Duran and Marcos El Chino Maidana. May not have been as controlled in boxing as, say, Roberto Duran, but he had hands of stone. Hands of steel, actually. Floyd beat him. And Marcos Maidana was more dirty than Duran could ever be in his lifetime. Okay? And Floyd still beat him. So when you look at that, you know, when Ray Leonard lost to Duran, right? And Floyd was like, how you let this dude... And you know what's the biggest joke? Whereas Marcos Maidana outweighed Floyd, like, you know, how Jake LaMotta outweighed Sugar Ray Robinson. Sugar Ray Leonard... And Roberto Duran was smaller than Sugar Ray Leonard. He shouldn't allow a smaller guy to rough him up. He's supposed to be the bigger, stronger dude. You know what I'm saying? So Floyd was pissed about that. He's like, Floyd was maneuvering Manny Pacquiao around the ring how he wanted him to, because he's the bigger, stronger dude. That's how it's supposed to be. So all of those reasons, Ray Leonard let a smaller guy beat him. Floyd was like, if you let a smaller guy beat him, that means I can beat you, because I'm a smaller guy than you. I would beat you. That's what Floyd was saying. And that's the argument. Now, you guys got to come with something good, man. Come with something good. Make a video if you want to defend your precious Sugar Ray Leonard. But I can show you from facts, man. I'm showing you from facts that, first of all, Floyd's resume is much better than Sugar Ray Leonard. Sugar Ray Leonard make his resume off of 3 to 4 people. Floyd's resume is off of 5 to 7 people. You got to start off with Gennaro Hernandez. You could say, oh, well, you know, you can say whatever you want, but that's a name. And going to be in the Hall of Fame. For sure. Not the first ballot, but he's going to be in the Hall of Fame. Already in the World Boxing Hall of Fame. What are you going to say about Canelo Alvarez, who's now the #1 boxer in the world? Floyd beat him. What y'all going to say about that? Pound for pound, as well as the money grab. Manny Pacquiao, still sparking it up in boxing today. What you going to say about him? Those names ain't going away anytime soon. Those are legendary names. Alvarez, Pacquiao, Marquez, Cotto Shore Boxing Hall of Famer, Shane Mosley, Shore Boxing Hall of Famer. Those names not going away anytime soon. You know what I mean? Oscar De La Hoya, already in the Boxing Hall of Fame. What y'all gonna say? Arturo Gatti. I don't say Arturo Gatti is the best boxer, but I mean, he's in the Boxing Hall of Fame already. What you gonna do about that? I mean, come on now. Y'all really serious? So I'm giving y'all a chance to respond. Respond, Sugar Ray Leonard fans. Because Leonard looked like he do great things, but he really makes his reputation off of 3 people. Roberto Duran, Marvin Hagler, and Thomas Hearns. Of which Thomas Hearns, Sugar Ray Leonard argues, beat him at super middleweight. Marvin Hagler, we can argue, beat him. And then, of course, he made his reputation off of a guy who already beat him in Roberto Duran. He wasn't so Duran was not even supposed to beat Leonard. So why he even let Duran beat him is another story for another day. Right? So really, when you think about Sugar Ray Leonard and you think of Floyd Mayweather, it's two different levels, man. So anybody's, that's why I say, do you guys really know boxing? Do you guys really know boxing? Do you guys know boxing? Because if you know boxing, Floyd mops the floor with Sugar Ray Leonard. He mops the floor with Sugar Ray Leonard. Right? Because Floyd don't got no problem fighting guys bigger than him, taller than him. He's been fighting them all his life. Leonard, on the other hand, seems to have problems with guys fighting who are smaller than him and quicker than him and can get to his body. He tailor-made for Floyd. Y'all can't see that. Respect to Sugar Ray Leonard. Respect to Floyd Mayweather. Respect to Leonard's fans. Respect to Floyd Mayweather's fans. But I just want to start something. Let's see what you guys say. Leave your comments in the comment section below. I'm out. Peace.